I think the for sure way to kind of vote is to see how the media talks. That's always been the for sure way. Because if you don't believe, or if you do believe that the media isn't telling the truth, that somehow proving the journalism, any aspect of it, which Fox did, it went to court and it won, saying that it can say whatever it wanted. How it was portrayed to me that they could lie 49% of the time. So they can say whatever they want to say 49% of the time of whatever segment that they're covering. Or there's not really a clear, I don't know. Is it 49% of the entirety of the show, of the year, of what is 49% of whatever it is? Going towards that of if it is that media can do that, and so any part of media can think that they are able to. It's like this whole thing of democracy. You get taught one way in school. You get taught what democracy is. You get to vote. This is how your vote works. Yes, there is electoral college. Yet, this is how your vote works. And yet, when you look at it, there's parts of it where it's like, we don't live in a democracy. Did you realize, living in North America, US of A, United States of America, you don't live in a democracy. It's, oh gosh, I don't remember what they worded, but it was a combination of a few things, or a couple things. And yet, why wasn't in the education system, why was that not taught? Why was that not taught? If that's it, in that of the immediate change from a democracy to that of whatever it is, that's what should be taught in school, so that those individuals that are growing up in the educational system, being that it's education, is meant to teach, is geared towards teaching. Just like work is geared towards doing something. Maybe sometimes for somebody else, and maybe sometimes for yourself, yet you're still doing something. It comes down to, in life, you have it to where you have a time period where you can learn how to do, and then there's a point and a period where then it just becomes that of doing, to where you just get to do. Yes, you can break that down into every different points in of itself, to that of moments to growth, to a skill, to changing, to adding, to growing. And still, it comes to say, if you don't believe in the media, in the sense of you can't trust what the TV says, because there is subliminal messaging, there is all sorts of stuff. Why do you think they play the commercials for a second? And they expect, they could say that it's a space filler. They could say that it's and yet it still comes down to, there is the subconscious and there is subliminal messaging. And yet it comes down to, there's all those things, okay? It comes to being able to be at a point where you can, and it's always the point where you can, of being able to, what is it? Bring your own entirety to whom you are and what you can be and do and are in of itself, to that of being, doing, acting, beholding, within that of holding, you can then be that. It's about literally bringing yourself to that where you are it. Because that's what makes success. That's what makes life something worth living. Because it is very true. You always go to a place. It was a place and now it's more. Why is it more? Why is it more? What is it? Because you're super special, that you can do anything, that you are a gift of God? If in that of the Bible it says that you are the child of God, what does that really mean? If in a place it says it, what does it mean? Is it different because it's coming from God and the Bible, to that of something that empowers you to where you get to experience life in a fulfilling way? Isn't kind of the Bible a means to being able to see how the unknown semi works, to being able to say what life is? The unknown parts of it, the parts of, like, in a sense, explaining how the heart just pumps and the brain just does what the body just done. It's already doing it. You can just live your life. You're able because of the gift of the body, because of what the body is and does and will always be, that of you can take for granted what is life or having to do those things. And yet, is it really taking it for granted, or that of gratification upon that of you being able to do something now because something gave into of, and of that of in was the thing. You created the thing. In that of life, you have many moments, and yet it's still, you have many moments to do things, to be able to be true, and who you are is determined by what you do, not what other people think of you, which is very hard to say in a sense of what it is, of what life can be in that sense. Because you in a sense, there's a balance. You have to represent somebody else to make money. And so how do you go about doing something that you're not okay with because an employer said that's what we should do? If you don't do it, I won't pay you anymore. And then, well, what are you going to do? You know, money is bartering. It was backed by actual, what's the word people usually use? Logical money. Because there's two different types of money. There's currency money, and then there's um, paper money, but it's called something different. You basically, the difference is with paper money, you can stretch it however far you want to. And yet, if it's not backed by something, then it's shaky. And yet, okay, have fun.